Today I effed up. I tripped on my vibrator. My husband is at work until late and my son comes home after 5 p.m. usually. Around 2 p.m. I was masturbating when I heard the front door open. My son had arrived much earlier than expected, making me jump out of bed. My vibrator went flying. When it landed on the ground there was huge cracking sound. And my son called loudly from downstairs asking if I was alright. I could hear him running toward my room. And that caused me to panic and run toward the door to hold it so that he wouldn't be able to open it and see me naked. But just before I got to the door, my foot stepped on the lubricated vibrator and I slipped and fell hard, making an even bigger thumping sound. My son knocked repeatedly on the door and yelled, "Mom, are you okay?" I was so embarrassed. I told him I was taking a shower and slipped on soap. I told him I will be alright. And lucky for me he went away. I felt so stupid. TLDR. So like, what if he's on Reddit and just read this? Then he'd go, I am going to forget that happened or head fat to it. Maybe he will break his arms. I guess he didn't read the vibe of the room properly. Next time he dildo. Underrated comment. Your vibrator made such a loud noise when you dropped it upstairs that it alarmed your son on the ground floor. Damn. How large is your vibrator? Anyway. Good question for research purposes. Color is important too. For science. Today I effed up by getting in a high-speed police chase. Buckle up, it's a long one. This is a fast-paced Today I effed up, many years ago, and as such is better if read really fast. Ready set go. So working in a restaurant is fun. One of the best perks to working in a restaurant is getting drunk with your coworkers after your shift is done. So one Friday night after the shift was over, me, M23, and the typical 523-40 MF, people decide to go to the closest bar to do our normal after Friday shift drinking. This time was a little different to start because we invited our new busser, 22M, to come with us. Little bit of an odd guy but very social and down to drink. Everyone meets at the typical bar down the street. I drive the busser. So at the bar things are going normal. We are all sitting together, drinking, getting drunk, talking to strangers, and each other and drinking. The busser was doing a pretty good job of being social. I was told later that he was being creepy as hell, so I thought to myself, this guy really cool. Well, 2 o'clock is rolling around and the hot chick server of the group says we should all go back to her place to eat pot stickers and frozen taquitos. Awesome. Whatever you say. I was beyond caring about anything at that point. At this point in the story I will note, do not drink and drive, it is dumb on many levels, get an Uber. This was in an old time and we were all young and dumb. Typically a couple of the more responsible older people stop drinking early and not drink enough to break the law and they drive people home or wherever. Well, as we decide who can drive and who's driving, I decide I am too drunk to drive. But the busser guy says he was not that drunk at all and he stopped hours ago. I was too happy to realize how I did not really know who this guy and that maybe he should not be driving. Well, I thought little of it. I say, hey, here are my keys, why don't you drive us there then? So off we go. Not to make this anticlimactic, but we make it there safe. Kind of hazy my memory, but me and the busser, after being in the house for a bit, decide we need to go buy cigars from the gas station for rolling. Off we go again. This guy has my trust with my car, so I'll let him drive again. Okay. So we start driving for like 5 minutes and the dude kind of rolls through a red light. I am drunk and guess he wanted to seem cool, so let's just say I didn't discourage him from doing it again. So of course dude goes through another red light. It's like 3 a.m. Mind you, so no cars are on the road. But the cop that was turning at that same intersection. Well, like a good cop he turns on his lights and starts to turn around after us. And like a good GTA driver my dude pretty much floors it, flying my car down this 40 miles per hour road. Did I mention he was driving down the wrong way of this road? So the cop is chasing us for 2 minutes when I say, maybe you should turn down there and pull over, as I point down a random road, was all I could get out of me. He didn't respond. I was actually pretty calm given the situation. I remember looking back at this point and seeing like 4 cop cars chasing us. Unique visual memory. Oh, and both the seatbelts were broken and useless, not that that matters. I can't believe how dumb I am for not immediately fixing those. Right curly bracket. So probably going like 90 miles per hour he is barreling down this 4-lane road, the wrong way, when this cop way ahead is semi-obviously throwing those road spike strips out. I hate to admit this but I was really impressed, still to this day, at how easily and smoothly my driver was able to avoid those spike strips. This obstacle maneuver also caused us to move back into the correct lane, so you know at least we are making a little progress. By this time it's like 10 minutes or so in and we are being followed by a flock freaking cops. Guess not too much action at 3:15 AM. The road must have been by a stream or a river at this point because these big boulders, car size, were lining the side of the road on the driver's side. Added this detail so you know there is not many places to turn or go. We see up ahead that they block the road off with 2 or 3 cops' cars. My driver bus buddy then slows my car to like 5 miles per hour and looks at me and says, "Are you ready?" Now I am thinking ready? Ready for bed? Ready for another drink? Ready to smoke? Oh no. He meant ready to bail out because that is what he did, as I was thinking what he could possibly be talking about. Oh okay. So I just want to take a moment to tell y'all what I was thinking at this point because a few thoughts were going through my head. A. Wow, if these cops did not see him just jump out right now, I will take 100% of the blame for this. B. I am in a car that is now hurtling at 8 miles per hour at this cop barricade. C. That dude is not cool. So I quickly thought to myself, I will save you broccoli. Car was a dark green old Lexus I bought on Craigslist with lots of little problems, but I loved it. I got out of the passenger seat, scooched over my center console and stopped the car a good like 5 car lengths before the barricade or so. No harm done. So at this point I am sitting in this car with more than enough lights on me thinking this probably doesn't look good. I get out of the car with my hands up and face the lights. I can see, despite the lights, at least like 10 guns pointed at me. I lied face down on the ground with my arms fully extended to my sides. They told me to do that with a loudspeaker. Someone eventually came over and handcuffed me and led me into the back of a police cruiser. I was questioned in the back of the cop car by multiple policemen multiple times. I kept saying I was not the driver and yada yada. They kept asking me the same questions. I kept answering the same way. Sometimes they would start the question with, "Say you were driving and this and this and this." I would begin my answer with, "I was not driving with that and that and that." I was seriously so scared I was going to be going to jail for a crime I did not commit. I was thinking I will need lawyers to interview my other co-workers so they can say I was not driving. Then I saw my buddy getting thrown into the cop car in front of mine. Seeing the back of his head was one of the most relieving moments of my life. They eventually let me go. I asked about my car and they said they were going to tow it. One cop was a jerk and did not tell me where, but a younger one told me the name of the tow company. The last thing one of the cops said was, "Thank you for being honest even though you are completely hammered," and then told me now to walk away before they change their mind or some empty threat along those lines. Aftermath. I could not get my car out until 30 days had passed because of some BS law. $50 a day plus $250 towing fee. X30 math, I barely afforded it after a month of saving. The guy got out of jail a few days later because he would need to go to court a few months later. DUI. Felony evading, he got 6 months in jail, let out early. One extra tidbit before you guys move to the next day, I effed up. He brought this packet into the restaurant later a few days after. It literally had everything he did from the police's point of view. Details are, they saw him jump out. When asked who was driving, he told them I was the driver. Tried to throw me under the bus. I confronted him about this and he said he didn't know me, so he did not care. After a few questions after that, they asked him if he was aware he was driving on the wrong side of the road. He answered, "Yes, I was aware I was driving on the wrong side of the road." Thank you for reading. My first time typing and submitting it today. I effed up without a problem, hopefully. TL. DR. Let new co-worker drive my car and got into a high-speed chase. Silver. My first ever award. Thank you. So happy. In an alternate timeline where James Bond is a fucking asshole. Ever seen the Tailor of Pan Ask Me Anything? That's got Pierce Brosnan in exactly that role. Lol, I was kind of hoping I'd get a recommendation. Loki, I've never seen a James Bond movie. Yeah, this is definitely better if you read it fast. Wonderful journey though. Justin, for your information. You can get your car back earlier next time. You can get someone high up at the police department to release it early with cause. When I was 23 I was drunk at a bar. When I was leaving someone I was friends with was like, you're going to leave your nice car here. I was like, yeah, I'm not driving, I'm drunk. He said he hadn't been drinking, he'd drive it home. I allowed it. He got pulled over and got a DUI and they impounded my car. This was a Saturday night. Monday I went to the police department, explained why I wasn't driving and said I needed it for work. They released it and I cruised down to the tow yard and picked it up. 2 days of storage in the tow, which the dude reimbursed me for. I wish I knew this back then. Well, now you know for the next time you get in a high-speed chase.